Welcome back, friends. It's time for the final installment, or at least the final installment that I see. I think this is the end. From our friend, Cult of Gonzo. This is The Ballad of Neckbeard, a Neckbeard fanfiction. Part 3. I hope you're ready. M'Enby's head fell in response. They simply could not. Their entire form shook, and their heads snapped up as they angrily retorted. These were brand new elixir strings, and this gash is irreparable, you jackass! They began playing again, more furiously this time. Their blood was absorbed into the instrument, and began to glow an angry red. The remaining stage lights also dimmed and glowed a hellish red. M'Enby let out another cry and shot at the beard, hitting his katana. 2/3 of the blade snapped clean off. Neckbeard staggered back from the hit. His eyes widened in shock. This was no waifu at all. Not even a yandere. This was clearly a more powerful edgelord. But the denial was strong with this beard. Neckbeard grabbed the brim of his trilby, tipped it in M'Enby's direction, his hand leaving a big greasy print on the cheap fabric, and then he bellowed in his lowest register. The call radiated as pure dysphoric energy towards M'Enby, but the energy from this jab didn't affect them, for they were no milady, and they were done with his shit. Nice try, gentle sir, they said with a smile, and they shot off the ground, glowing base headstock aimed like a spear right at the beard's balls. M'Enby slammed into Neckbeard, impaling him right in the groin with their base. He screamed, Mountain Dew green light breaking out from the wound. M'Enby screamed to prevent from retching at his vile stench. Neckbeard dropped his broken katana, which clattered to the ground, and then reverted to its true form, as a beautiful vintage Stratocaster in mint condition. M'Enby yanked the base free and fell back to earth, making a superhero landing. It's hard on the knees. Neckbeard then burst into flames. Starting from his trilby, he burned all the way down to his destroyed New Balance sneakers. In mere seconds, there was nothing more than smoke, charred earth, and a whiff of classic Neckbeard BO where he once stood. M'Enby looked around sadly, noting the damage and how several people lay injured. Then they noticed the beard's vintage Strat, which had a perfect ray of moonlight shining over it, as if beckoning them to play. They went over to the guitar and gently lifted it. Shit, the only song I can remember how to play is Stairway. Frustrated, they shook their head and began playing the Forbidden Riff. Strangely, one of the most overplayed songs on the planet did the trick. The surroundings were magically repairing themselves. The building's bricks restacked and mortared themselves. The ruptured asphalt sealed itself back up. The splintered stage boards rejoined themselves. M'Enby's bass was as if it had just left the factory, and everyone's injuries were healed. Even that one PA that always had a buzzing sound stopped buzzing. The crowd, which had hidden behind the cars, came rushing back, cheering. M'Enby's band hoisted them into the air. They lifted their Strat as a trophy, and then everyone clapped. Unfortunately, though, the open mic bar had to close down 3 months later due to dwindling finances and lingering Neckbeard stench that, mysteriously enough, no amount of bleach could ever erase. Though they'd had their battle on the outdoor stage and the parking lot, the stench had permeated into the bar itself and the surrounding buildings. In better news, M'Enby would begin learning to play other songs on their new guitar. Thankfully, none of those included Smoke on the Water or Wonderwall. They would never play the Forbidden Riff again. They instead set their sights on metal covers and some originals. Whenever M'Enby practiced a Dio song, I swear they heard a "ree" off somewhere in the distance. Okay, that was wonderful. That was
End of Dragon Ball P.
silly. Oh my gosh, Cult of Gonzo. That was that was really fun. I liked the weird insanity of that. I loved the over the top crazy stuff. It was, again, it felt like fucking Brutal Legend, but with more neckbeards. So I greatly appreciated that, and I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for sharing it. I know this is a bit of a shorter one, but, you know, that's going to be the way it is. Maybe I'll have edited all these together. I don't know. I haven't decided. But either way, thank you for being here, and thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this, make sure you do the YouTube thing, like, comment, subscribe, all that good crap, you know. And I have a Ko-Fi and a merch store. Ko-Fi is kind of like Patreon, but cooler. And a merch store is, well, it's a store that has merch in it, so that's pretty self-explanatory. Anyway, if you'd like to see these things being recorded live, I do that on Twitch every Monday night. In fact, every weekend we do streams, so you can come check that out. And if you have your own story to send me, be it a Neckbeard fanfiction or just something really fucking weird you think I should hear, send it to r/Moonhorse Stories. I'll definitely check it out. Thank you all for being here. I love you all so very much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody.